Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at Fallen Angel #1. This, believe it or not, is by DC Comics. Okay, this is by Peter David, David Lopez, and Fernando Blanco. This is a comic that has been totally forgotten about. First off, let me just say right off the bat, I love this comic. I absolutely loved it, and I'm probably the only person I know in real life who collected it. This comic was plagued by low sales from the beginning, and it was constantly threatened with cancellation. Matter of fact, Peter David said in an article that stores were even just refusing to carry it, and you'll see why in a little bit. So he out of his own started promoting it himself, and even though the sales started to get good, DC canceled it at issue 20. Also, it was revived by IDEW Comics, and I think it went 33 issues, and then it went a couple of miniseries. And this came out in, I'm gonna say 2000. Okay, so let's before we open up, let's talk a little bit about it. So this is a bizarre comic in so many ways. Okay, so this is Peter David. This comic was supposed to be a bridge between regular DC Comics and then Vertigo Comics. Also, it's creator owned, but it's in a regular DC line. So that explains why you never hear of it anymore. Third, Peter David wrote the Linda Lee Supergirl, the angel character. And her name is Lee, and she's a fallen angel. Now, Peter David highly suggested but never outright said that this is Linda Lee, the continuing adventures of the angel Supergirl girl and because he never said it, it's not her, so therefore he owns the character. But for 20 issues, this, if you ask me, my opinion, this was the continuing adventures of the angel Supergirl after the DC changed and put it back to what's her name, Linda Daverts. So this was, but then when it got canceled, he put it in IDW. Oh, that was never Supergirl. Okay, I paused for a second because I confused myself. So let's open it up and check it out. This comic is kind of hard to find, and to be honest, I don't think it would be made today. I think the political climate has changed. So I don't see the indicia yet, so let's just look at this page. So here we are in a bar, okay? And this woman's name is Monica, and this is Dolph. Who is Dolph, you might ask? Well, that's another person who is highly suggested, but it was never actually stated who it is. I'll spoil it for you. That's Adolf Hitler. So, Adolf Hitler runs a bar called Führer's. And that's Monica coming in. She's looking for information about her son, Toby. Toby ran away. He's 18 years old to become a male prostitute. It's that kind of comic. So here we have a bunch of seedy characters in Führer's being served by Dolph, who may or may not be, but is Adolf Hitler. And here we have Lee. That's what she goes by. Just walking around the city of Bete Noire. And Bete Noire is a character in this story. If you read the 90s Starman, Opal City is a character in that story. Gotham City is supposed to be a character in Batman, but I don't know. I think they kind of dropped the ball. Metropolis is supposed to be a character in Superman, but they kind of making it not. But Bete Noire is a character in the city. The Black Beast. That's what Bete Noire means. So there's a sniper going around, and the sniper takes a shot, but she spotted me because she is a fallen angel. And what does he do? She throws something at him into his eye through the scope, and he drops his cell phone and she grabs it. At least that looks like a cell phone. Yes, that's a cell phone. Oh, and we still didn't come up to any indicia. So I at this point I'll probably forget it when it does show up. Oh, there's Angelina Jolie looking like Tomb Raider, and this is Juris, Dr. Juris. He's another major character in this, and this is a character that may or may not run crime and stuff like that. Now she's messing with them. It's been so long since I looked at this. Now here's Führer's Pub and Bar. Okay, and then Monica is still asking if anybody's seen Toby. Uh, he ran off to become a male prostitute, and he's like, surely being a mother counts for something. Yes, of course. Sympathetic ear for Monica, and then he's like, yeah, I didn't see her when it. So he could go to Lee for help. She'll be in a red robe. You can't miss her. Oh, there she is sitting in the booth. She's like, I didn't see her come in. She goes, well, nobody sees her when she comes in. So, excuse me, Dolph says you're the fallen angel. No, Dolph calls me that. It's stuck, but I don't like it particularly. So what should I call you, Lee? Just tell me what you want. So, typical, noir story. I'm looking for help. Can you help me find? This is my son Toby. He ran off to become a prostitute, and I want him back. He's 18 years old, so the authorities won't do anything because he's in a legally he's allowed to do it, but I'm still his mother and he's still my son. There's no police force in this town of nor is there any crime during the day, but at night everything goes berserkowitz in this town. So I'll take. And then she seems to know everybody and everybody's nice to her. In any event, we tend to fend for ourselves. Can you find Toby? Depends. What are you not telling me? Why do you run off? I'd rather not. You not ask. Then I'd rather not waste my time. She goes, Toby, God, this is difficult. Toby wants to earn lots of money by sleeping with women. He wants to whore himself out. Yes, I got that from the previous sentence. And you disapprove? Of course. What mother wouldn't? What mother wouldn't? She goes, okay. So there we go. She's going to go. $400 upfront cash. Is that your fee? No, that's my demand. So know what? She goes, you stay here. I'll be back before long. You know where he is? I have an idea. My angel, what is it, Dolph? I do not like this one. You don't like any of them. So he's concerned about Lee. Okay? And there he goes. And she goes off to do business. Okay? She's going to go find Toby. And I'll talk more about this comic at the end. So this is Doc Juris. And his goons playing chess, which is such a villainous thing. And, this is, and he's the magistrate. Okay? The magistrate runs Bet Noir, and I'll get back to the magistrate. So he's talking about, an info dump, but Peter David's a good writer, so he can get away with an info dump. So here we have subplots going around that I'm not really going to get into because they take through the whole comic. And here she is. She's going to, you ready for this name? She's going to a brothel. Okay, this woman runs like this illustrious brothel in Bet Noir, and her name is Bumper Ruggs. Okay, I'll say that again. Her name is Bumper Ruggs, and she shows the picture of Toby, and she wants to hire him. And she's like, all of him works for that. Bumper Ruggs is no one's fool. Your money's no good here. Meaning I get him for free. She goes, meaning you get the hell out of my place. These would be your muscle men, right? So look, it's all like pervert goons. I've heard you're supposed to be tough. Let's see who's got the better hearing. Okay, so here she's gonna fight, and just tossing them out the windows, just beating the crap out of them. Keep in mind at this point she was supposed to be like the old Supergirl. So now Bumper Ruggs is gonna fight her, and just short work of her, just crush her. She's got a foot on her chest. She's just gonna crush her. She goes, yes, it may not be. Yes, magistrate. Yes, of course. I serve all the paid customers equally. But how did you know? Yes, naturally. It's your business to know. All right, I'll get. So the magistrate told her, if you want to keep this job, you pay. You service all your customers. Lee is a paying customer. She's paying, and she wants to meet Toby. So now she pays for Toby, and she's like, all right, I got you for the night, and I want to bring you here for a drink. So here, Toby comes walking in, and Monica, Jesus, you're the woman who dragged me here to see? Cripes, what's it going to take? You call your mother Monica? She's not my mother. She's my, let me guess, your first client. Yep. I wasn't your damn client. I was more than that. Okay, it's true. I learned a lot from you, really. But sooner or later, the student moves on. So she goes, maybe I can't move on. Maybe I need closure. Maybe you need to be punished for treating me like dirt. And then blam. What happened? She's bleeding. She falls down, and Dolph shot her, saving Toby's life. So, what's going on? I can't believe you did this. She's like, basically, you're a piece of crap. You're using people. She goes, but, You know, that's none of my business, and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes up to Dr. Juris, who's the magistrate. She makes the chess move, and then they start kissing. Okay, and here's the indicia. This is the indicia. The indicia is usually the small writing at the bottom. It's usually on the first page. And this is where they put all the legality stuff that has to be in comics, like the title, the editor, the subscription rate, and when it was published. This is all for legal purposes, published by, you know, this establishes, in case, you know, there's going to be lawsuits. So I said 2000. Oh, 2003. I was off. I was off by a couple of years. Okay, so now, this comic was 20 issues by DC, 33 issues by IDW. It was a poor seller for DC, really poor. And it was weird because it's creator owned. This may or may not be Supergirl. It is Supergirl while it was DC. It was not Supergirl while it was the IDW. And at one point, there's a character who comes in, and the name of that comic is called Waning Moon. I think that's issue 3 or issue 4, Waning Moon. And a person gets into Bret Noir to investigate. Who do you think that is? Bruce Wayne. In disguise. It's Batman, but they never say it's Bruce Wayne. I forget the name that he uses. But that's, you know, and all the characters have bizarre, like, punny names. There's Asia Minor, Shadow Boxer, Black Mariah, you know, and they're all great characters, and I could just see this as a great Netflix series. Now, okay, in order to explain this comic, I have to talk a little bit about the city of Bete Noire itself. We don't know. It's like a mysterious city filled with like supernatural. Time is different there. It may not be limbo. It may not be perdition. It may not be, you know, it may not even exist. And nobody can leave unless the city lets you leave. Nobody can come into the city unless the city lets you in the city. And it's just like this crazy little like town without pity. But there's strict rules. No crime during the day. During the day, it's, I don't want to say it's a paradise. It's a normal city. At night, it's like the purge. You know, it's, you know, whatever you can get away with. And she is the only force of justice. And she's not even like good. She's like, has like this dubious moral thing about her. And the Juris, he's the living embodiment of the will of the city. He's a direct descendant of Cain. He bears the mark of Cain, so he can't be touched, and he's immortal. And somewhere he appoints his child, his oldest male child, to become the new magistrate of Bete Noire. And he does the will of the hierarchy, the powers that be that run Bete Noire. And they acknowledge that even God and Satan have no control over Bete Noire. Only the hierarchy has control over Bete Noire, the city itself. So it's this, I know, I love it. It's hitting all my boxes, like conspiracy, ancient worlds, mysticism, religions, superheroes, everything. I love in a comic. I really, really liked it. Too bad it didn't sell too well. And I think Peter David got a little annoyed that it didn't sell too well. Like, it's not a good idea to stop blaming the audience, but he's like, yeah, the comic book reader's not ready for anything new and blah blah blah. It's DC didn't sell it. Why would DC push it? Why would they do it when they don't own the character? You know what I mean? To me, it shouldn't have been a DC comic from the beginning. You know, but there you go. That's my unprofessional opinion. But there you go. This is Bete Noire. This is Fallen Angel. A really bizarre. It's kind of suggestive, even in DC. Wait till you get to IDW. It's full on R-rated. Okay, so buyer beware. All right, and I'll thank you for taking time out of your busy day. This is a comic that's totally forgotten about, and I really, really did enjoy this. DC was at the top of the game at this point, and like I say, the rising tide floats all boats. So they took chances on this. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out, but it's still worth it. I think there's collected editions out there because these are probably hard to find. Not too expensive, but hard to find. All right, see you around. See you tomorrow with another video. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.